The Walk, made by Robert Zemeckis, the same guy who made Back to the Future, among other things. Now, when I first got a 3D TV a couple of years ago, this was high on my wish list. When it came out, the commercials all featured that bird's eye top-down view as he crosses between the towers, and it marketed the film as something of this somber trip down memory lane. But in fact, and to my immediate surprise, this film is actually almost a hyper gung-ho, follow your heart, live your dreams, think it and be it presentation. I almost expect it was produced by a Zig Ziglar, Anthony Robbins, or perhaps even as an installment of the Secret series. It's told in first person by the protagonist himself, frequently breaking the fourth wall. And it's enthusiastic, which is always fun, though I felt this choice felt more presentation rather than a narrative. At any moment, I half expected him to pause and flash a 1-800 number for limited time discounts for some related products. Perhaps it was that I was prepared for a different mood. Or perhaps it was that I had seen documentaries on this story and was perhaps too busy trying to connect the comical, outspoken character they were giving me with the more complicated one I had heard of previously. Perhaps I knew too much going into this and was less willing to suspend my disbelief with what I was getting. Also, I think I was kind of waiting for the protagonist to fail or falter, and that really doesn't happen, at least not in a meaningful way. He just kind of skates through it all with occasional discomfort. Really, the message here does seem to be, if you dream it, the world will come together and make it happen. And I think for many of us, the world is more of a devilish genie that distracts with wishes while it extracts its wage. But this movie dispenses with any of that cynicism. The world given to us here in this movie is an oyster, and its pearl is there for the taking. It is fun, but ultimately not fully satisfying, like expecting a meal but being served cake and ice cream, all very tasty, but you're not sure you've actually eaten. Now the 3D is good, but underwhelming at the conclusion. The tightrope shots are okay. The 3D I found worked best while inside the building. 3D likes junk, and the scaffolding and construction material gave plenty to judge the depth by. And that's the problem with the ending. When you're high up, the sky doesn't give you a lot of visual cues to judge distance by. And he's also so high up that there isn't anything between him and so many feet to the ground that there's you lose all perspective of just how high that is. And it looked like he was in more danger inside of the circus tent where we earlier see him learn his craft. Now, I watched this on a 55-inch screen, so it may be that the tightrope shot is entirely meant to be seen on a theater screen, perhaps even IMAX, and maybe it needs to be immersive to really work. And I realize I'm sounding critical here, and let me course correct a little and state that this isn't a bad movie at all. It was quite fun. They have these cloak and dagger adventures to get this stunt done, and it's a lot of fun to watch. And it's all very light, but it has lots of tense moments. But it never gets too heavy. And perhaps this was a case where the marketing was a disservice to the film. The commercials were somber and promised an ending with the ultimate 3D experience. Rather, it was super upbeat, and the 3D was good, even great, really, but the end wasn't any more or less remarkable than anywhere else in the movie. So you're kind of waiting for this ultimate experience that doesn't really materialize. And I feel if I had watched this movie with more neutral expectations, I might have appreciated it more. So yeah, The Walk. It's good, just not for the reasons I expected.